network. But the report warns of serious problems ahead and a lack of investment to fix them. Ben Worsley reports.
If commuters had written this report, the findings would have been mixed but passionate. How do you find the punctuality of your train every day?
Shocking.
Shocking?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic compared to England.
In fact, the Auditor General's found more than 92% of city trains arrive within 5 minutes of their scheduled stop.
I would expect in due course we'll start to see the love affair between passenger and rail happening very strongly again into the future.
But it's the future that worries the auditor, with a 20% surge in passengers forecast over 3 years. Unless the capacity of the heavy rail network increases substantially, she's found punctuality is likely to decline and customer satisfaction to fall. And the report says there's a significant risk that the investment required won't be made in time.
I would impress that upon the Auditor General that we're making these investments. We've got the biggest transport budget in the state's history.
The centrepiece of that is the Sydney Metro train line, a 70-kilometre track from north to south due for completion in 2024. 24 new trains will begin service from next year, and upgrades are underway across the existing network.
That's all about capacity. And building the metro is all about capacity, not just building it on the new system, but also allowing more room on the existing system.
The crunch will come in the 5 years before the metro is finished. Then, the experts say, the network could struggle.
If we'd planned better 10 years ago, so after the Olympics, we'd have been ready with some new solutions now. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to wait.
That's nothing new for some. Ben Worsley, ABC News.
From trains to roads, and the state's toll network today went under the microscope. A parliamentary inquiry heard details of how some tolls will be extended to pay for new motorways, while the company behind the WestConnex project didn't even bother to show up. More from state political reporter Ashley Raper.
It's one of the prices to pay for living in Sydney. Tolls are an unpopular reality, one that's been around for a while and one that's here to stay.
The community understands that if they're getting a road network that delivers the savings in time, the savings will also come in money.
And the company which earns a lot of that money is Transurban. It manages 13 of the country's 15 toll roads, a key focus of a parliamentary inquiry.
There's hardly any competition in the sector, I would say. You have a current monopoly, let's say, then on toll roads.
Monopoly is somebody who can put up prices by whatever they would like, and they are the only provider of the service. On any account, the toll road concession business in Sydney is not that.
It's also a complex business where a toll on one road can actually pay to build another. Many drivers might be surprised to learn that on the M4, a toll will eventually be reintroduced. The money raised will help cover the cost of building the rest of the WestConnex project. The M7 Westlink toll was supposed to end in 20 years, but now drivers will have to pay for a further 11 years to help fund the NorthConnex tunnel.
How much in tolls will Transurban receive as a result of the NorthConnex?
I haven't calculated exactly how much the tolls will be over that period of time.
The Sydney Motorway Corporation didn't show up to answer questions about WestConnex, the $16 billion motorway the government has commissioned it to build. The corporation confirmed last week that the chief executive would appear, but he pulled out yesterday.
The Premier just has to pick up the phone and say, Buster, get in and answer some questions for your $1 million plus salary a year.
Something the Premier is unlikely to do. Ashley Raper, ABC News, Sydney.
The British Schools Minister is in Sydney to promote a controversial method of teaching